when it comes to your own family, when it comes to your children, be quick to fight whatever sin that might draw you away from the needs and the care and the love and the joy of your family. Hello and welcome to the Man of God podcast. My name is Casey Wilson. We've got Justin Bohner and Travis Shook, and I'm jacked up because I'm leaving tomorrow for my 20th anniversary. I don't have to look at you guys or see you boys for the next 8 days. It's going to be me and my pretty wife running around, having a good time on the beach. I am looking forward to this.
Where are you going?
That doesn't matter. No, we ended up, we are.
I mean, like, is it local or are you taking her and treating her?
No. We're getting out of here. We're having a good time. We wanted something close that we could get to quick. So we're running down to Puerto Rico. We've never been down there. And there's enough beach and mountain play and a number of other shenanigans that we can get into. We're still at that point. I mean, my wife loves to adventure. She does. So for her, the idea of going on vacation and finding a beach and just sitting there for 3 or 4 days, a resort, that's not her. She wants to run around and
that's cool.
Taste foods from random places and eat off the streets and just go have a good time. And so she found a number of things down there that look fun and exciting. And primarily as a husband with 7 kids in the house and just a busy life, dating your wife now is different than when you were, before you had children. That early stage of honeymoon life, right? Where you could actually get out and go on a road trip or go spend 3-4 days and all you do is enjoy each other.
And it's nice that some of yours are older. I'm assuming they can watch the others, but how do you date her when you're not celebrating an anniversary?
You mean like practically now in my life?
Yeah. How are you doing that?
Oh, I think you try to get as much as you can out of the regular rhythms of life. I mean, I know a lot of people that say they have that fixed Wednesday night is our night and we don't see each other till Wednesday night, but then we get to see each other type of thing. And we guarantee that time. I think that's awesome. You should always fight to have a planned touch point throughout the week where you guys can look each other in the eyes. But I think the thing for us that helps is just trying to get the most enjoyment out of every day that you possibly can. That's the way I approach it. There's so much in life that you don't plan for. I mean, we're trying to prep for this trip and a couple of things unexpected came up at my house that I had to take care of. And so you end up spending Mother's Day weekend working on a house rather than out going and enjoying, going and buying flowers and whatever else your wife would love to do. Now you're your family and you're working on your house. Why? Because in 24 hours you leave on a trip and you've got to get this done. It just is what it is. And so that time turns into, you try to turn it into something that you are enjoying. You have to grab the hearts of your children and get them to buy into that experience and get your wife to buy into it so that way you enjoy it rather than it just become this task that you have to get done.
How do you get them to buy into it and not see it as a task?
Dude, I think one, you've got to cut out whatever is pulling them away, and you've got to get full buy-in. Human beings are so fleshy. I watch my children. If I tell 2 of them to come out, they just immediately, why not this person? Why don't they have to do it? Why aren't they involved?
Oh, yeah.
And so you have to get them to buy in. And then the hardest part as a dad is really once they're bought in, once they're there, it's delegating in a way to where they feel some kind of weight. If I tell, if you tell your kid, grab the broom and sweep over there for a bit, they know you're just wasting their time. And they feel like you're wasting their life, right? But if I put a drill in Nate's hand and I tell him, hey, take off all the clips and get all this old cable off the house that no longer, who's using satellite? No one's using satellite. Cut all that cable out and get it out of here.
Big deal.
That boy he's fixed. Yeah, he's locked in for the next 2 hours. And you have to find a way to do that with each one of them to some degree. And if you can do it, you might get an hour of productivity or you might get 2.
But they still look at the task that was there. They help. When they come home, they see it. I get what you're saying there. That's good.
Yeah, there's nothing. Mary Beakey wrote this book, Teach Them to Work. And it's all about teaching your children to work. And I think there is a joy in life that comes from working, that if you don't teach your children how to experience it, you are robbing them of so much that God has for them. There's really, my son Jameson, for instance, yesterday we're working on the back deck and I can't see him. I don't know where he's at. And I'm at a point where I'm trying to hold up a piece of plywood on one end by myself and I need someone to grab this. So I'm yelling for him, Jameson, where are you? He finally comes out and the little dude, he's 12 now, right? He's been in the garage and he's trying to put on my old tool belt, my bags. But when he goes to put them on, they just fall to the ground because my waist is not the size of his waist. I mean, that boy's got a little, you could wrap your hands around his waist. Mm-hmm. And so he's got a tie down that he's disconnected and he's wrapping it around his shoulders and he's hooking that to the bags. So by the time he finally comes out, he's so proud that he's got my old tool bags on.
That's hilarious.
But he can barely walk. He's just kind of like, it was hilarious. And so, putting that kind of experience in their life to where they feel equipped. I mean, the whole time that we're working, Jameson's asking me questions like, hey Dad, how come we can't get some private land? Can we get 50 acres? And I'm like, I'll work on that, bud.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you want 50 acres? Questions. And he goes, because, I want to drive the truck around the field. And I know he's thinking about Reed driving around the pickup truck in the field, right? And so I think in many ways at this point in my life, especially with my sons, they are no longer 7, 8, 9 to where you're just kind of with them and kind of like holding their hand.
Yeah, keeping them from killing each other.
Yeah, you're now at a point to where you have to put a task, a weight on them that causes them to grow. It's a weight load. They're finally getting to the place to where they could hold up a little bit of weight for themselves. And if it stays as, hey, clean your room and make your bed, if that's all they continue to do, you're never going to develop them as young men. You have to get them to the point to where they are out and they're experiencing things and they're building things and they're using the testosterone that God has given to them to go out and experience. They really are.
And that's the direction that we really want to go with the podcast is like what's going on in our life and how are we applying the Bible to not only ourselves and learning it and letting it refine us, but the lessons that we're grabbing, how are we communicating it to our wife, to our sons, to our daughters, all the different ages, different emotions. The one that knows when you tell him to sweep, he's like, you're just trying to, you're hustling me here. But knowing how to manage that well and to steward that well and to ultimately you use the worldly examples of, fixing something in the house or weed eating something to teach the deeper lesson of Christ, right? That's what he did for us. So I've been trying to do that with mine for a while now with a lot more dedicated time to it, and we're in James, I think the end of chapter 2, and I'll read it on the way into work. And when we get home and we all go to bed, we'll all jump in my bed and we'll all pray and everything. And we'll go over the verse again.
You do that right now with your kids?
Yeah.
Right on. How old are your kids?
13, 12.
Okay. And for them, this is not awkward to come into the same room together, jump in bed and read through the Bible together as a family.
No. And it'll change. Sometimes we're in my daughter's bed, we'll all pile in and read a Bible verse or something, and we'll jump in Reed's bed. We kind of just move around. Whoever's closest to being in bed is whoever's bed it is. But it's been really good. The last thing that we've been kind of hitting on lately is to be doers of the word, right? Not just, it says that even the demons believe in God and shudder. Like, if you believe in God and do nothing with it, it's pointless. Now, your works don't save you. We made that very clear to the kids. Like, what you do and you being a good person and following all these laws and rules in here don't give you salvation. Christ does. It's a free gift. Yeah. But you should be compelled by that to do something. Yeah. Do something. What does that look like? How do you do it? So we've been talking about that and doing that, but it's cool to see it. You can teach about it on the way to school. They're half awake and they're kind of listening. And then when we get home from school, I hear about school day or like whatever we're doing around the house. Displays, gives a chance to live out that verse. Yeah. And then the day we get to talk about it again. So Reed's saving up for a dirt bike. He's making progress, but he's like...
What's he at right now? Because him and I mean, we talk 2 or 3 times a week about this.
Sold his old dirt bike, got some money from that. I think he's at like 2,400.
Okay.
He wants to get around 4,000. They kind of fluctuate on Marketplace. So he's saving up, and he's like, let me do this. Let me do this. I want to do this. I want to make money. I want to make money. I said, I'm helping you out because 50% of the things that you're doing is just your son, and that's just what you have to do. But I said, I'll throw you a bone because you're working hard and you're not whining. And he's like, I understand. Like, I should just have to do that. So that was made abundantly clear. For years, he did this and didn't get paid. But now he's weed eating this and mowing this and doing this. And the front section of our property, there was these huge trees, and they fell. And once they fell, I guess the shade's not there now, and there's saplings and trees and poison ivy everywhere, everywhere. And some of it is too much for just a little weed eater string, so we got the metal blade on it. He's been asking me. I'm like, fine, we'll go. And I wasn't prepared for it. He's wanting to do it. We go there, and I'm like, I don't know our dang weed eater engine size. Like, I don't know what's the blade's too strong, too heavy, you know. So I'm like, all right, we'll just get it and we'll figure it out. So I am hanging out with the girls because I've been with Reed all day, and he's trying to put the blade on, and I'm like, don't crash out. Like, just work through it. If you need me, grab me. And I can hear him down there just like shaking stuff and hitting stuff and coming upstairs and slamming doors. I'm like, hey. But it's cool to see him work this out, right? He has a problem. I'm like, what do we do? He's like, count it all joy. You know, and I'm trying to get him to apply the scriptures. But real life shows it. He's frustrated, doesn't do it. I go down there, I fix his mistake. We walk through it. We have the wrong blade. It's too heavy for the weed eater size. Yeah. So he's mad. So he takes it off, puts the old weed eater string on, strips a screw. So now it doesn't work. He goes, I can't even work. I'm being punished. I want to work. I can't even work. This stuff happens. I'm like, buddy, this is part of work. Yeah. And he's like, what do you mean? I got to go weed eat and make money. I said, your wrist hurts, right? Your elbow hurts. You've been bench pressing more. He's like, yeah. I said, same thing as you stripping the bolt on the weed eater. And I'm letting him, I was like, you have to maintenance this. You have to maintain it. The gym, we have to fix this and this and this. And you can tell he's like, and I reference scripture. I reference the Bible. And I'm like, this is the dance between it. So it's been cool to see. And God has been convicted me more to be on at all times, because everything you do at the house, especially like Mother's Day, we had Lid's family come over and we had, 30 people, and we're hosting and we're cleaning up. And I'm like, Ez, go clean this, put this on the stove. Reed, go turn on the Blackstone. And like teaching them how to do it. Yeah. And sometimes they're happy and other times they're grumpy about it. I'm like, what's today? He's like, Mother's Day. I'm like, what does your mom do for you? And I've always been on him about love your mama, take care of your mama. Yeah. Your mom is everything. So he's like, all right, you're right. He's like, but I really want to work. I said, if I hear you talk about work today, it is for mom today. And it's cool just to see them start to grab these principles and understand the value in it and the weight in it and mess it up. When you mess it up, like, cool, all right, come back here. Let's talk about it. Like I told you last time we were on here, I don't remember when it was, he was cleaning up some of the fence line and ripped the string off the chainsaw and somehow ripped. And he said, oh, I didn't get mad. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to replace it. But that is what he's been impressing on me. And I don't have much longer with him. Like, I know we always say that, but for a 14-year-old almost that's going to be driving soon, like, the times in the evenings and the afternoons that you have.
Yeah, I mean, everyone thinks 18, okay, I'll lose them at 18. But really, they start to drive at 16.
Yeah. Or
their hearts wander at 14, 15.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I read this the other day. I think it even might have been a verse of the day. Psalm 32, verse 8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. So they know, like, God's for you, it's with you, he'll help you. But I've really been trying to press in to whatever situation you guys have, whatever problem you guys have in life. You're going to have a million different ones, different shades, just all the stress is there. He sees you, he hears you, he loves you, he wants what's best for you. Go to him like a father. Kind of to piggyback off of what we talked about in the last episode. He's sovereign God, but he's also a father that cares about a 8-year-old taking coax cable off, just like he sees those things and he's proud of it and he wants to talk with you. And I've tried to illustrate, and it might be like seem a little intense, but I'm like, I'm not going to be here forever. And if I die, like if I get in a car accident today, like what are you guys going to do? What direction are you going to go in? And they're like, Jesus. I'm like, do you know how to do that? And they're like, the Bible. And I'm like, okay, good. But like, do you understand what it looks like? Like how you can read this. And this is one reason that we're really trying to hit it on this episode is you can read this and do all the things and strive and work and be good and hold the door open and fast and pray and all that and miss Jesus. Yeah. Miss the whole thing. Yeah. So I've been trying to figure out how to articulate the person of Jesus and how he cares and how he's in the moments. And when you mess up, go to him. And he might be like, that was dumb, but it's in love, and good job, but it's in love. So that's what he's been refining me on how to be more aware of the opportunities, because life is going to present the opportunities for the lesson. And in the lesson, represent Christ well.
Yes.
And how I speak, how I show it, how I respond and react when they break something. Like, I screw up every hour with my relationship with God, Like, he's like, all right, this next time, hey, you were really rude here. And like, he's patient, he's kind.
You find yourself not having to create plans or programs to shape your boy if you're just in tune with what is going on in life and what they're going to need to do.
And knowing not to be, like it says, do not provoke them to anger. Like, I could critique everything he does because I understand his heart behind it, right? But you've got to learn, like, hey, like, I know you're frustrated because you want to work and you actually are in a good mood to work, and you strip the bolt. I get it. I get how frustrating that is. And it's Mother's Day and all the parts are closed and we can't go do anything about it. Like, so I'll get in that with him, and I'll give him an example of the gym. Something happens and I'm stuck, I was like, God's good. Like, you have this, and it helps to slow down fathers and men and husbands and talk to God in the moment while chaos is going in your house or at the job site or on the way into work. Like, things move very quickly, and it's good for you to not feel like you have to move quickly. Like, there's times that you absolutely will, but to sit down in the moment when everything's going crazy and be like, all right, God, what would you say? How would you respond? What would you do? Give me your words. And there's times where you need to be intense, and there's most of the time it's just a stern, confident word, eye contact, expressed through love. Like, I have a lot of hard conversations with my kids, with my employees, with random people, with my wife. We're dealing with things, and some of it's us, some of it's things that are imposed on us, and it's constantly a hard conversation, but it's never friction on our relationships, because I've tried to be intentional to express, I love you, but there's things that you're going to do that's just stupid. Yeah. Me too. And this is what defines that. Yeah. And let's get better at it. And it's really created an ease in my house whenever we talk about stuff. No one's super emotional or pissed off. Doors don't get slammed. Like, we're not, like, there's times where people get emotional, and I'm like, hey, I understand why you're emotional, but, like, bring it back down. Like, no one's picking on you. And you could tell they're like, all right, that's fair. But I want to hear how you guys do that with yours, because obviously that's mine. You've got 7. Yours are different ages. It always looks different on how we apply this, but the principles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with what you're talking about, for me, it's been, how do I get my kids to love the reality I'm trying to tell them it is real reality?
Yeah.
How do I get them to love it and not just conform to it? It's just so easy to get them to do the things and miss the side of it that says, I love the person behind the thing I'm being told to do. With my oldest, who will be 13 in October, that for him is the things that you do you do them because you love God, or do you do them out of habit? Which for me always comes back to me. And then I'm going, the things that I do I do them out of the pursuit of a deeper relationship with God? Or do I do them because, really, if I was totally honest with myself, I'll feel like I'm maybe not a Christian if I don't do them. I'll start to doubt the Father's affection for me if I don't do them. Or is it that I'm doing it to pursue him? And conveying that to my kids is the ultimate challenge. Right? That's the ultimate challenge, is getting my children to love the life that we're living because of who they get to live it with, not just participating in it, because then one day they won't do it. If they don't learn to love the standard of our family, then when that standard is no longer imposed upon them by their parents, they will no longer conform to it because they're not made to. But if they learn to love the standard of our home, then no matter where they go, that will be the way that they live. And yes, there will be the mistakes that we have made, but they'll remember the apologies more than the mistakes, and they'll remember the love and the joy and the Christ that was at the center of all of it. And so it's just, there's always constantly, perpetually, every single day are just small things that I'll do that I recognize I'm saying one thing and doing another. Or I'm trying to do one thing and I'm correcting something else in a way that's not an accurate depiction of the way the Father feels about them in this moment, while I'm trying to get them to do something that I'm saying will bring them closer to the Father. You know, like I'm being harsh to get them to calm down to pray. Like, this is just real life. Like that I'm being harsh. I'm being rude. I'm not being gracious and compassionate. I'm being stern and from their perspective irritable.
Yeah.
In an effort to get them to engage in something with someone who I keep saying isn't any of those things. And that's the challenge for me whenever obviously talking with what you guys were kicking down the road is life is only about relationships with other people, with God and with others. Love God and love others. To love God, you have to know God. To know God, you have to seek God. You have to trust God. You have to, right? Like, you have to know him. You have to be in a relationship with him. And to love others, you have to know them. You have to like that's church. That's work. That's family, is knowing them. And as you know them, you learn to love them, and you love them more, and you give more of yourself for them, and same with God. And so going and doing and teaching your kids is just a matter of having your eyes open to see that every single thing you do physically in life is just a means to a deeper relationship with someone. If you do something completely alone without your kids, if you go hunt without Reed, that is a means, that's a vehicle for you to have a deeper relationship with God. Right? Like, nothing is purely self-serving in the Christian life. We begin to look at everything as a means to a deeper relationship with someone. Always God, but then it's also God and your son. Teaching your son to have a deeper relationship with God, or your daughter, or your wife, or whatever it is. The person who you're discipling, right? The person that you're discipling and meeting with to get coffee to talk about Jesus is you two pursuing a deeper relationship with each other, so that there's trust built up to where you two can now pursue a deeper relationship with Jesus together. That's all any of it is. The thing is I can still end up checking a religious box and not teaching to love the one that we're doing all this to get closer to. Like that's the whole reason why we're doing any of this, is to get closer to him and to love other people, right?
So is it fair that same, I'll call it indifference, that same experience can take place within a marriage? It can take place within fatherhood, where you're training your children. I mean, you can get to a point to where you're hitting the punch list and you're getting things done, and you're content with getting things done rather than in seeing this tree fruit and bear life and bring forth new joy. You know what I mean? Like, we're always that constant ongoing wrestle between managing the things that are and getting them done, and also building for the future. And when I say building for the future, I don't just mean like putting an addition on the house. I mean believing and dreaming for the person that would be in that room, or for the emotional experiences that you would have around the home. Like you've got to foster. This is what you're talking about is very real for me. Like Gabe last night, It's 8 p.m. Bedtime's between 8:30 and 9. They're trying to go to bed. Grandma's over. We're trying to wrap up the night, enjoy some ice cream, finish up Mother's Day. And Gabe gets wind that there's a dead squirrel on the side of the house. And
yeah, you better go.
then he hears that this thing's been there for days. Who knows what killed it? It's not, who knows? It's probably bitten by a snake or something. Who knows why it's dead? But he goes over and he grabs it with a plastic bag and he brings it over. And his mind is just consumed with this darn squirrel all night. Dad, we're going to cut this thing. I'm going to make a wallet. I'm going to be able to sell that wallet. I'm going to make some money by selling. I'm going to have a squirrel skin wallet.
I got one of those too.
This dude is full sin on this. And I'm like, dude, slow down, eat the ice cream. Why don't you have some time with grandma? And he's just like, and I'm like, dude, you probably don't want to gut a squirrel that you have no idea why it died. You have no idea why it's dead. And he's like, then get me my BB gun, Dad. I'll go right now. Those fields, I've seen countless squirrels. I'm going to go get me a squirrel right now. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be back with a couple of squirrels. And his brain is full of sin. And I'm living in a world as a dad where I'm like, son, clock in and enjoy Mother's Day and grandma time. But I've also got to participate in this world of my son wanting to go on the greatest squirrel expedition of his life. Because if I don't tap into some of that, I'm going to lose this boy.
Lid saw all of these Mother's Day videos and posts and everything. And, she's crying. She loves it. They're sad, yada, yada. But at the end of it, I'm going to butcher it. It was, she says, like the task of mothering and fathering is you're preparing them for a life without you. You're preparing them to leave one day. And the end of this post was check on all the empty nesters because we no longer have the job that we never wanted to lose.
Oh, man.
And I was like, dang, that's heavy. But if you think about it, your whole pursuit is that I have no greater joy than my children would love the Lord, pursue the Lord, right? So you're setting them up and you're using life to prepare them to not need you, but to only need Christ. And then when they do it, you're like, oh man, this is bittersweet,
Yeah.
But those moments are huge. Like you hit a really good point coming off of Justin's. It's like you can have a house that functions well. You can have bills paid. Your kids can make good grades. They can go get married and have a good job. And they come home for the holidays. But like, to me, that's stale. And to me, that's missing everything. Like we had, we had Mother's Day over and there's, 20 or 30 people. And at the end of the night, normally all the ladies start cleaning, whether it's Mother's Day or not. Like guys come in or the ladies start cleaning. And Lid's like, no one clean, just talk and hang out. And somehow music got turned on in our little living room and all the ladies started doing line dancing and 90s hip hop came on and they like the granddaughter, like the whole room was just ladies dancing. And I was like, where are the dudes at? And all the dudes were in Reed's room and we're looking up like dirtbag videos and hunting videos and stuff. But it was cool to see the family. Like we had honored mom, right?
Oh, yeah.
And most of the time it's like split off. We're good. Yeah. Check that box. No, everyone was like hanging out and laughing and dancing. And the boys were smacking carpenter bees that are eating my house and they're trying to shoot stuff. Like thriving is contingent on knowing him.
Yeah.
Thriving is contingent on knowing who God is and pursuing God. And when you know who God is and you pursue God yourself, you find a way in the day-to-day to share that with those around you. But the challenge is as a leader, you need to mature in a way to articulate it so you can be precise so they can grasp it.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. Like I'm not saying I've arrived, but my kids, they'll come out and Reed's like, golly, look at this. The sunrise is beautiful. God, you're so good. And I'll hear the language. And Ez is like, I'm so thankful for this. And they'll pray and they'll help people. And they're starting to do these things without being told to do them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like God, like, I don't know why I'm shocked. You're faithful, right? Like if we point them in the direction of you and they don't see any inconsistencies in my walk, like I screw up all the time, but I tell them, like Reed the other day, I described where this tool was. And as it's coming out, I'm saying the wrong word, the wrong place, everything's backwards. And Reed just knows, just go look for it. And he comes back, he's like, where is it at? And I'm like, come on, I'll get it for you. And it was in the complete wrong spot. So I hand it to him and I just like hug him and lay on him. I was like, this is me apologizing. And he goes, I know, I love you. I forgive you. And we laugh about it and he'll do it to me. But like that should be an aim, that your family is fun, that get-togethers are stressful, but they're fun, and that your kids don't just come visit you on the holidays unless God's called them somewhere and that's what they do. Like, you can love well, live well, and enjoy. And this isn't prosperity gospel. This is what he wants, but he's the center of it. And he redefines what well is and redefines what joy is. And it's all found in him. And there's no checklist to punch. There's things that you can discipline yourself. And like, we correlate it. That's why he gave us parables. Like, most people come to the gym because they want to look good naked. Like that's brass tacks. If you boil it all down, they're going to get married. They want this. They want to have abs. They just want to look better when they're naked, honestly. And they hate working out. And they get in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. They get around a bunch of friends doing it, and they love it. They love how they feel. They love the results. They start to care less about how they look and how they feel and their clarity in their mind. They've got energy. They can get in the floor of their kids. And they love the process now. Is this at the beginning is like, I don't know what it means. What does it say? How do I apply it? This is old stuff. I don't have multiple wives. Like, what the heck is this about? But when you get in and you hear a father's heart and the guidance that he's given you to give you a good life, it's like, dang, this is sweet. Like, even if I don't understand this one thing, I'm going to try my best to apply it and keep asking, because I know he's a good dad.
That's good.
And he's going to drive me in the right direction.
One thing, Justin, that you talk about a lot, and one thing that I see Travis, just because he ends up talking about it a lot, is you guys both do a good job bringing your children into your walk with the Lord, making time to do family devotional. And when I say that, I mean jump on the bed and read a Bible verse together, right? I know that you guys are very intentional in the morning time when you drop off your children. Travis, you even make it a point. I mean, your wife comes here to the gym, picks you up, and then the four of you go, you and your wife and your 2 kids, you go and you drop off the kids because you want an extra 10, 15 minutes with your kids, right? Yeah. But you do it, you're intentional to bring your children into that intimate relationship that you have with God. I know quite a few men. In fact, Beakey, in his short book on marriage, the 2nd chapter, talks all about this. A lot of men that struggle to bring their wives into their intimate relationship with God. They don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to express it. They don't know how to communicate what a walk with the Lord looks like. This is very real. And for a woman that is needing a spiritual head, that's what she needs. It's almost like not being able to talk about, a huge portion of your life with the person that is now you're covering. This person that's leading me, that's protecting me, that's guiding me, that's supposed to be providing for us physically and spiritually as a leader in our home. And yet he doesn't have the skills to be able to communicate what's going on with his relationship with God, right? Are you guys tracking with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is probably more predominant in men than we all realize. I think there's a lot of guys out there that don't know how to just talk about their walk with the Lord and pray in a way that is not routine or managed or engage with their wife on a spiritual level. How do you guys build that up? How do you foster that? How do you make that natural rather than making it routine or a job?
Yeah. For me, I would say, in pure observation, I would say that Travis is definitely more practiced and better at this than I am, because I'm more, I drop the ball in conversing and keeping my wife up to date on the spiritual more than my children.
You talk to your children more than your wife?
In the sense of
what God's doing.
Yeah. It's almost like we're both flying and I need to get them to fly. Yeah. And so it's easier to divert attention to them and assume you're both sharing the same meal. We're eating off the same plate, but we got to keep feeding them. And that's a mistake. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'll notice that tendency in myself.
Yeah.
And so then it can lead to, you go a while without talking about the things of God. You assume that you talking about it with the family and you talking about it publicly and you talking about it at church and that your wife is also connecting that. And so that's always a challenge for me. Like I can dial in and see where the kids need it. The issue is seeing in the mundane, to use that, in the mundane, how can I love her with the love of Christ? Because that's going to do more than telling her about the new theological concept I've learned about.
Yeah.
Right. Or dragging her through where I am with infant baptism. Like that, I've been down that road. Right. That road is like, that just gets you to tell me when you get there.
Yeah.
Where you want us to go. Not,
yeah.
But learning, I was just thinking when we were talking about seeing everything that we do as a means to a deeper relationship with someone.
Yeah.
God, others. I was thinking about like something like taking out the trash for me. I get annoyed when I come home and it looks like Jenga stacked up out of the trash can. Right? My wife gets annoyed when I'm not there and the trash can's full because she thinks trash is gross. And rightfully so, it is gross. She's a girl. So me keeping spiritually up to date with my wife is me making sure that the trash is empty whenever it gets full so that she sees that I care about her in a way that is reflective of the way that the Father cares about her. So it's those types of things to me that transcend the communication that make when we do just talk about what's the Lord doing and saying it, there's all this behind it. So it's not just like I'm a pastor talking to someone in the congregation. You know what I mean? That's at least for me.
Guys, let me explain what he's saying there, because this is easily overlooked. And if you miss what a parable is about, you miss so much, because it's every second of your life. So Justin's seen the trash, and it might be 3/4 of the way full, but he's going to be home late today, and he knows that she's going to fill it up and be annoyed. I need to take this out early, even though there's room, because she's going to see it and feel loved. Good job as a husband and worldly. But him correlating that lesson parably to spiritually, like, I need to check on my wife before the trash is full, before I haven't talked to her in 2 weeks or a week and it's been 5 minutes here and there. Yeah. I need to get in cadence with her, and whether it's a phone call on the way into work or whatever. So God will teach you. I mean, I can't even describe how many things I've learned because of something in the gym, something at home, the screw in the weed eater being stripped. Like, you grab these lessons that you're learning in the worldly, take those and literally just slap it into your spiritual walk, and you're going to make a lot of headway, and ask God for clarity on it. Continue. Sorry.
But no, I mean, you're exactly right. And it's guys, I just have to tell you, it's for us being a younger married couple. I mean, we've been married 8 years. I mean, y'all are 12 years in, longer than we are. Y'all are what?
15.
Yeah. So you're further along than we are too. And it's a matter of, it is so easy to assume health because you're making it, because you are checking the boxes. Yeah. Like you are succeeding by the world's standards.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to become lulled to sleep and think, well, of course it's fine. We're paying bills. We're raising kids. We're going to sports. We're going to church. We're doing this. We go to bed. We don't let the sun go down on our anger. We don't, like, all of these things. But it's so important to, if the husband is the priest of the home, is he actually bringing his wife along in that spiritual journey that he's going on? What I think you're getting at, communicating about spiritual things. It's awkward for guys because if we're not doing that with our kids, then we're not going to do it with our wife either. Right? Like if we can't communicate with our kids, which is easier than communicating with our wife at times, then we're not going to do it with our wives. And so it really is, I think a lot of guys might be working through this, growing in their identity and walking out their calling and being sanctified and forged and trying to learn how to teach others. But it really is that last one where we're quick to not open our mouth. I mean, this is the problem with Joshua. Moses kept Joshua with him. He was Moses' servant.
Yeah.
He stayed with him. When they went to the tent of meeting and the presence of God fell on the place, the whole nation, 1 million people, would stand up and look and then turn around and go back in their tents. But Joshua would sit at the mouth of the tent and not leave the presence of God. He worships God. He follows God. He is a faithful man all throughout the book of Joshua. And then at the end, when he has everybody's attention and God has brought them into the land, he says, y'all do what you want to do, but we're going to follow God. Y'all go back if you want. Go back to Egypt. Go back and follow those gods. Do whatever you want. Yeah, you are going to be cursed. Do whatever you want. But this is what we're going to do. And he doesn't bring people along with him in that secret that he found, that the nearness of God is his good, Psalm 73. He knew that, but he didn't know how to communicate it. And so then there becomes generational loss.
Yeah.
Then people are following God by following the leader. And when the leader's bad, that means the people go bad. That's what starts the process of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Is they said in the beginning of Joshua, we'll follow, just like we followed Moses, we'll follow you. Only you be strong and you be courageous and you worship God, and we'll follow you while you follow him. And that generationally destroys them because they're following the guy in front of them. And it's easy to do that with your wife and your kids.
Yeah.
You can lay down at night feeling like you're in right standing with God, but really you're at stage 1. Figuring out your own walk with God is stage 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And it's just, man, this is not, I hope it doesn't sound condemning. I'm not trying to be condemning at all. I just mean, it's so easy to feel that, as for me, not even me in my house, as for me, I'm going to serve the Lord, and y'all should too, but just watch me get more mature.
That's
right. That's so easy to do.
All right. Well, it's been long enough. We're 50 minutes in and we need to wrap this up. And so I'll just finish with.
That started early.
Did it?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we're
whatever
still at 40, but still, yeah.
Whatever we're at, gentlemen, just speaking from experience and speaking from life, when it comes to your own family, when it comes to your children, be quick to fight whatever sin that might draw you away from the needs and the care and the love and the joy of your family. To grow indifferent towards that which God has given you, the greatest gift that God has given you, and yet to grow indifferent towards it because you are looking upon or chasing after or finding yourself busy with things that are just not what God has for you, is a waste of time and is a waste of your life. It's the best way I can put it. If you want to nurture, and if you want to build up, and if you want to experience what God has for you as a husband and as a father, fight sin, love well, follow Christ, take dominion, die daily, learn to rule well. That's how we finish this race. That's how a man of God runs. So get after it, gentlemen.